All right, boys, welcome to our week one power ranking / weekly recap. I'm going to be doing these on a weekly basis, either on Monday morning or Tuesday morning, depending on how I feel, how depressed I am, and what my work schedule looks like. But this week, we wanted to do it live from the basement because we got the painted wall we spent money on, and we're really trying to show that off. And I'm trying to show full support for Baker Mayfield, even though we took the quick loss, which was brutal. It's going to take me a while, but we're thinking about the Houston Texans, who looked really good last week. So hopefully we get the dub. If we do, all things will be great. I'll be back on board. Otherwise, that wall's getting painted over, and it's going to be pitch black for a funeral. So let's go. We're going to start with the weekly recaps. We're going to start off in Team Flint Tropics, where Team Kevin beat the piss out of Team Mike. Kevin, congrats to you, man. Your team set a league high, I think 180 points or so. You had all your players play really well. You didn't really show any weaknesses. I said Russell Wilson and the White Boy Summer wide receiver combination really took over and dominated. 3 of them dropped almost 100, which is always going to be tough to beat. Christian McCaffrey ran really well. Where on my side, we couldn't even get Zeke to get out of bed. So that's a really tough gap to overcome. Unfortunately for me, Kyler and Hopkins had a really good week where they both went off, but it wasn't enough to overcome the league high points. So I will sit there with my third most points in the league for the week and know that I'm heading into an 0-1 start against Team Rowda next week with the chance to go 0 for 2. Not good. Ken Starter versus Rebuild Boy. Eric, we're not really talking about you until you win a game. So we'll be kind of Rainey specific on this one. But Rainey, I thought you were dropping 200 all day. I thought you were, after that Cowboys game, I was like, this dude's about to win the league. He's going to drop 200. But he dropped 150. Not really your fault. Aaron Rodgers had 3 points, which will probably never happen again. But overall, your team looked great. I think you had, what did I say? All of your starting wide receivers and running backs combined, they all dropped over 20. Some dropped as many as 30, but they were right in that 20 to 30 range, all 5 of them. That's going to be tough. If you get that type of consistency, you're going to win. You easily beat the piss out of Rebuild Boy, so nice job. The next one, Team Jalen Hurts versus Joey B. This is the only game that really can be decided tonight, the only one that really matters, but we're going to make the assumption that Mark Andrews is not going to drop 20 points. If he does, you're welcome for reverse jinxing that one, Pat. What can we say about this game? Big game from Debo today, so everyone's making fun of Murph for trading away Tyreek Hill, for trading away Swift, who looked awesome, by the way, today. 25 points. He was on the bench, though. But what does he do? All these guys he trades for, all these young wide receivers, they just step up. So, Murph, congrats again. I've said it. You've always kind of looked like a contender. You sometimes make questionable trades with Rowda, but you continue to win. So, what the hell can I say? You almost won last year and the year before. So, congrats to you for another big dub. Team Rowda, on your side, you had some really good games from your wide receivers, which are not necessarily a strength of your team, but I was not quite sure about Aaron Jones. He let you down. Again, I think you and Rainey were both really hammered by that game. So was I, Devontae Adams. So all 3 of us were all praying that Aaron Rodgers wakes up. Otherwise, we're gonna have some holes on our team that we're gonna need to fill. Next matchup, Ravenous Killers, really going in on TD. Tommy IMs me. He's sitting next to me on the couch over here, and he goes, does Tom know that he needs to start another wide receiver because Odell's on the bench and he's injured? I said, no, let me tell him. So Tommy was nice to you, Tom, and got you another starter in the game, but it didn't matter. And the reason he told me that you needed one, he wasn't worried about you. You couldn't cover 100. You really, really, really struggled. You're about to finish with 77 points, which is honestly embarrassing. But, yeah. I will say as well, with all due respect to Tom, Eric, you're not the worst team in the league. Tom is the worst team in the league. And Tommy, much better performance today. Really solid. I would say you didn't have a great game. You were very average, but average is going to be good enough for the first 5 to 6 weeks of the season for you. So congrats on a great start to the season after your championship 2019 and your great drafting last year. The next one on the list here. Oh, we're not really talking about this game. Team Cursed versus Big Antonio. Don't give a shit. Neither of you guys are going to break 100 points. If you can't break 100, I really don't want to talk about you. Team Curse, Mason, I will give you a little bit of kudos. You've been injured, had some major issues going on, and you still are going to overcome and get the dub. There's a small chance Otero could win today. I really don't see it because you have Drake on your team, and Drake is going to carry you. So I'm just going to chalk this one up to a loss for Otero and a big win and a big start to the season for Team Curse. So congratulations. And then the last one here, Moose Knuckles versus my guys, the Mud Dogs. Moose Knuckles, 40 points for Pat Mahomes. Kelsey had like 30. When you get 70 out of your QB and tight end, you're probably going to win. Unfortunately for the rest of the league, that shit was not a fluke this year. That was a very predictable score for those two, and he got a lot of good play from the rest of his team. So it's going to be tough to beat him when that happens. Team Moose Knuckles, you got a couple Buffalo guys. The Buffalo Bills didn't show up in fantasy, but hey, at least you beat the Steelers in real life. Ooh, too soon. Okay, so now we're going to power rankings. This is the part that really matters. This is where we break you guys up. Top to the bottom, 1 through 12. Here we go. Let me take a sip. We'll be posting this on our YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe. Number 1, no doubt, no diggity, no doubt, Flint Tropics, number 1. Led the league in points. The scary thing is they didn't really have anyone go off, so no offense, Murph, but like you guys won, and Debo had 38. That's probably not going to happen again. I didn't look at a single score on Kevin's team and think, wow, that guy played out of his mind. They all played about average. So what he did is what we expect him to do. He's a league champ for a reason. Kevin, congrats. You're still number 1 in the hood, G. Number 2, Team Pat Rauda. Pat, I believe you're going to lose to Murph. I am not knocking you down in the power rankings. You're still number 2 in my book. Why? Your wide receivers look great. All of them. Even Smith looked good. Every wide receiver you had out there looked really good. You had a couple on the bench as well. The only reason you're probably going to lose tonight is because Aaron Jones had nothing because the Packers didn't show up. So at this point, I'm going to assume that's a fluke, and the Packers aren't the worst team in the league. They're going to be back. Aaron Rodgers is going to be back. If that changes, though, you will drop. So for this week, you're staying at number 2, and I'm going to keep you 2 in Tier 1. Only 2 teams in Tier 1. This week, we're going to refer to Tier 1 as the... And we're not going to use the names. I didn't think about this shit, so we're not giving it a name. That's Tier 1. Tier 2, starting it off. Ken Starter, Rainey. I think you climbed in the power rankings this week to team number 3. Like I said, I thought you were going to drop the most points for the league this week, but Aaron Rodgers didn't show up. That's annoying. Hold on. Live TV, folks. That's the kind of things that they don't show you. They usually edit out, but for this, we're keeping it in. I am going to say that you're number 3 in the league because I said in the beginning, you have the best starters in the league, arguably. Don't think you have enough depth. I think you're screwed when someone gets hurt, which football is a contact sport. It's a war zone. So it's probably going to happen. But for right now, you're number 3. If Aaron Rodgers plays decent and you guys drop 190 points, you're number 3. Number 4, Jalen Hurts. And Rainey, I'm putting you in Tier 1. My bad. You're in Tier 1 with those other 2 guys. You guys are at the top of the league. Number 4 team right now, Jalen Hurts. Murph, again, people rip you for your trades, but you just keep killing it. You're number 4. Best running back combo in the league who didn't really show up this week. But your wide receivers played great. If you can get something near that every week out of this combination of wide receivers, you're going to be a playoff contender by the end of the season. I don't know why you don't start Dak. I think he's an MVP guy, and I know you named Jalen, your team after Jalen, but he's a bench guy, to be honest. So overall, really good game. Best running backs, great quarterback play, and then your wide receiver stepped up. So you stepped up as well. You're now number 4. Number 5, my boy. Did I skip that? I forgot. No, I did that. Okay. So number 5, we're going to go with Moose Knuckles. Moose Knuckles, you're number 5, baby. You're in Tier 2 along with Jalen Hurts. You guys are the only 2 teams in Tier 2. You have best quarterback combo in the game, best tight end in the game. So you got 2 out of the 4 areas really locked up. Your running backs both looked really good, and your wide receivers looked pretty solid as well. So overall, I didn't really have any depth or starter concerns with you. The only reason you're number 5 is because I don't think that you have the depth. I looked at your team. There's 2 guys on your bench that I think would play. Once we start getting into bye weeks, you're going to really struggle, in my opinion. So Hopefully you can get that figured out and get some depth. Maybe trade Lamar Jackson. I know you're trying. No one's interested in him. I don't know why. Okay, so that's tier 2. Tier number 3. This tier's name is are these guys seriously just pretenders? Are they overrated? Are they overhyped? Or are the players just really letting the coach and the GM down? You may have guessed it. This team, number 6, Baby D, went from the top to very middle in 1 week. What happened? No running backs. Zeke, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Saquon, nothing. People think I win these trades. I'm getting guys past their prime. I'm trading for damaged goods. You think, oh, he should go pay $1 for a loaf of bread. The bread's moldy. Of course it was only 10 cents. The owner knew that. He was lucky because he was about to throw that in the trash. That's what's happening with my trades. Only thing I did well, I got Swift, who's a starter now. Just made that decision. So we're very middle. I think we have great upside. We had 3rd most points in the league, but there's a real chance that we're going to start off season 0 for 2 and be fighting for our lives for the rest of the season. So I'm very middle, 6 team out there, not great. But I'm on a tier of my own. I'm way above anybody else on this list. So next tier number 4. Again, spending less time. Once we get to the middle, we're starting to cut down the time. Ravenous Killers. I'm going to get through these. It's been 11 minutes, 18 seconds. I have 40 seconds to get through the rest of these. Ravenous Killers, wide receivers look good. You got Sterling and Michael Thomas on the bench. I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to make a strong push and be a contender, but you're not going to win the championship. You're number 7. Number 8, Team Buffalo. You dropped 118 points with Buffalo's guys on the bench. Not as good as Tommy, but you played pretty well. You don't have as much depth. You're probably a tier below him. With Team Cursed, Mason, I'm more concerned with your team than Otero's, but you beat him, so I'm going to put you above him at number 8. Number 9, Team Cursed. Complaining that you're too low in the power rankings, complaining no one disrespects you, then you don't drop 100. Get a grip and kick rocks, bro. Number 10, or that's number 10. Number 11, we'll get better at these as the year goes along. Number 11, Rebuild Boy, Elijah Moore. He sucked. Oh, Deebo Samuels looked great. This dude's trash. I'm not talking about you until you win. I'll start to show you respect and be nice to you once you get a couple wins under your belt, I promise. But I do want you to know as well that I don't think you're P12, but the committee is also looking at tanking. So I'm not accusing you of tanking. Not an accusation right now. Not at all. But I think you're the team most likely to tank as the season goes on. So make sure you're making reasonable rotations. And if you're starting someone trash to throw a game, I will watch you and I will fine you per league rules. You're on notice, bro. But I do love you, Eric. And I played well in golf today. Or on Saturday. And then last one, Dire on Fire. Tom, love you, dude. Let's talk in person. You need some help. Okay, that's our rosters. That's our rankings. Please like and subscribe. And promise we'll be better next week. We'll see you guys. Have a good one. Go Browns.